So, oh, there we go, live. And so then we'll start seeing people kind of, if anyone's tuned in, who knows if anyone's tuned in.
Not you and I'll just sit here and talk to each other.
I know.
That would suck.
Like we do.
That's exactly right.
I know, it's not like we don't talk to each other. But yeah, so they'll start like populating over here. And then the other thing is that the Page of Wands. Those are my glittery cards. The other thing, see, like there's people on there. They're just not showing up yet. Okay. But then you'll see an F or a Y, and you'll know if they're on Facebook or YouTube.
Got it.
So, yeah. But let's see if I am just messing this up here. Nope. Okay. Hello to you guys that are on here. So I don't know why it's not showing it yet. But you see, there's the YouTube. There's that.
Right.
So, and then that's the little icon that comes up with it. So we're talking about our class, and yeah, there's 3 people. I think one of them is Stephanie. So we will see. If you guys want to comment, you can. But let's just talk about our class.
Sure.
So yes, we are on here because it will all be recorded anyway. So we are on here to talk about our psychic and self-development class that's coming up. For anyone who might be interested in taking it. It's like kind of like a journey. It's not so much about like, oh, I use my intuition all the time, or oh, I'm psychic or a medium, even though that can be like a side effect of it. It's also about your journey and healing and all that other stuff. So if you guys have any questions, you're welcome to ask. Right now, I don't even see anybody saying hi, which is weird because usually they sign on like that. So, oh, and there it is. Let's see if we do it like that. If it starts to populate something. Okay, yeah, that's where it will show up. And that stuff doing that. Okay, perfect. Oh, hello, Brenda. Brenda P. Hi, this is Charles. If you don't know Charles, this is Charles. He's the one that I'll be teaching with. Yeah, and so if anyone else is on here and you have any questions for us, we're just going to talk about our class and how it is going to work and what it's about. And then if you're interested in signing up, you can just send an email to Steph or to my website, and then we could get that for you. And I have the wrong glasses on for this experience. I need the non-bifocals because I'm always like staring off. What did I do in my purse? It's around me somewhere. Where did I put it? Ah, it has my glasses in it. My other glasses. Shit. I guess I'm not using those glasses. So we're going to be using your glasses. So you can read them when they come up.
Brenda said hello. Hi,
hello, Brenda.
Maybe she's saying hello to me. Hi, Brenda.
Maybe she is saying hello to you. That since I did introduce you, and then that happened. So it's the Psychic and Self-Development Program. The Soul to Soul Communication is the first class. You can take that class and then decide if you want to continue to pursue it. It's very similar to a class. It's very similar to a class I once took that kind of helped me get to where I am today. But I don't know, what was your experience when you were first starting and doing this kind of stuff?
Well, for sure, what you and I talked about was doing something really experiential, but walking people to the deep end of the pool and pushing them in, right? Because honestly, you can read as many books as you want, watch as many YouTube videos as you want, but at the end of the day, you have to actually practice moving this energy and giving messages and being in the energy and trying to manage your own energies.
Yeah.
Being able to, I think folks think that you're going to be a radio antenna. You're just going to receive stuff. But you're a radio antenna that's got moss growing all over. It's got a little rust going on, right? So part of the journey thing is cleaning off some of those icky pieces so that messages can come through more clearly. And I've met a number of people over the years who I think haven't done the inner work. Not that this weekend is all just about doing that work, and then their messages are skewed.
Yeah.
They are projecting their stuff
Mhm.
into the reading, and that's fine, but it's not really what Kim and I do. And so being
Yeah.
able to get to that place and practice and play with these energies, and we're just going to play, and the 2 days will go by like this, and hopefully you'll walk out feeling psychically cleaner.
Well, and then, like, I think the process of like the whole psychic self-development program, I think that because there is that psychological component of like dealing with your stuff, like dealing with your shit, as well as like connecting with the spirit world and all that other kind of stuff. But I agree with you. I just have a different way of explaining it. I like the way you explained it. I always think of like the pipe in the Drano commercial.
Yes.
And life happens, and we get all this shit in the pipe, and then it colors or it gives our readings a different taste. Like if I had always been with people that had always cheated on me and I never dealt with that, then someone comes to me for a reading and says, do you think they're cheating? And I'm like, well, yeah, because I haven't healed from whatever I need to heal from. So part of so like draining your pipe and whatever, there's not going to be tons of that in the weekend class, but there will be kind of throughout the program.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I just think that's such an important element of this kind of work is like to get out of your own way and also like, I don't know, like heal yourself.
So the
like,
person who hasn't healed, who has relationship stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
That'll never go away. What cleaning out your pipes, or because I like that analogy too, is just recognizing that it's there. So that when someone sits across from you and they're like, is my husband, my boyfriend, my wife, my girlfriend, are they cheating on me? That you're not triggered.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm like, okay, this is a place where I need to just check my energy for a second because I've heard a number of, been around women all my life, and they're like, men are pigs. Okay, that may be fun to say after a couple margaritas. And all that, but you can't go into reading with that because most of the clients are women and they're going to have questions about their boyfriends or husbands.
Yeah.
Men are pigs. Right?
Yep. That is, it's so many different things. Like even in my mediumship, one of the things that's always kind of well, I'm working on it, but one of the things that's harder for me to do is connect with like the spirit of a child because I have children and I don't want to imagine that any kids out there dead. So that's not really some experience I've had, but it still affects me because of my own like fears and worries and whatever. So it's like getting out of your own way so that you can connect. If you guys have any questions for us, put it in there. But we're basically just talking about our class and why it's badass and why you should take it. But the first class is this soul to soul communication. It's a weekend class. And then the amount of money for that class goes as a deposit for you taking the longer program with us. But it's kind of cool because like you've been doing this for how many years now? 5 million?
Right. You're supposed to say, what are you, 100 now?
No.
I first read for money, which is a distinction that I make because someone paid me for a reading when I was 19. And I think to myself, who wanted a reading from a 19-year-old boy? But someone did. And then someone wanted a reading from a 20-year-old boy, and then a 30-year-old boy. So, I'm 33. That's 14 years.
Yeah, you're 33. He's only been doing this 14 years. But I've been doing it for 20. And between the two of us teaching this, it's kind of cool that we have so much shared experience between the two of us. And then we met in kind of we worked in the same building when I was over at the Cloisters. He was over at the Cloisters too. And I wasn't necessarily communicating with him. But one day he walked into a class that I was teaching, and his energy was different because of who you were working with, not because of you. And then I was like, oh my God, we're going to be friends now. And then I think we've been friends ever since.
Have been.
That. Yeah.
Yes. And that's got to be
just
14
2 years.
I know, 2 years ago. Yeah. In my math, it's just 2 years
It's
ago.
like,
right.
It feels like it's 5 million years ago that I've known you forever. So that's why I wanted to teach with you because, and one of the things about teaching this class is about the the fact that we both have different ways of thinking about stuff. I mean, our values and beliefs are very similar, and like, we both believe spirits around us. We both, communicate with the spirit world and the living world. And that class that we're teaching is essentially basically how your soul communicates with other souls, whether they're living or in spirit. So that's what that introductory class is. So you can kind of see what it's about. And if you decide not to go further than that, that's fine as well. But having the opportunity to kind of see how much work is involved, but also like getting started with stuff, like that's also good. I'm going to ask you a question like I'm an interviewer.
Okay.
Tell them how you started. See how I'm a bossy interviewer? Yes, I'm a bossy interviewer.
So I have been interested in this all of my life. I was born into a Southern Baptist family, and my mother particularly was horrified that at 10 years old I'm interested in, and not, it wasn't just spirit guides and stuff like that. I was interested in other religions at 10 years old, and when you're Southern Baptist, there is no other religion.
That's true.
So I realized at an early age that I had to be on my own path. So by the time I was 17, I had found spiritualist ministers in Omaha, Nebraska, which is where I grew up. And every Thursday night, while I'm in high school, so I'm a junior in high school, every Thursday night, I'm going to a seance when all the rest of my friends are out smoking and carousing and stuff like that. And I just loved it. I moved to Colorado to go to college and studied with spiritualist ministers here. And it's just been great. I've had great teachers. One of the nice things about doing this for a living and having had really a lineage of good teachers is that I feel now I get to pay it forward a little bit to share some of this. And, I'm all about, Kim and I were talking about this earlier, I'm all about what works, right? So oftentimes you'll go to a class and you think, well, I want to do things just as Kim does them, or you'll meet me and maybe I tell a good story and you're like, I want to do it just like Charles does it. That won't take you very far. The real successful people who do this work, actually really successful people in general, get up one day and they're like, I have to make this my own. I have to do it in a way that I know it and I can talk about it and I live it, love it, learn it, I eat it, the whole bit.
Yeah.
I'm really conflicted sometimes because this is my business and it's my interest. So I'll go take a weekend retreat class and friends of mine are like, don't you do this all week? I do, but I want to get away. I want to get away for the weekend, So I've done this a long time.
Yeah. I feel like I've been doing it for lifetimes. So even 20 years. But do you see any questions? Because I don't have my classes. Hello. Whoever's saying, oh, hi, Tiana. Hi, Edie.
Hi, Edie.
Robbie, hi. And Chrissy, hi. Ooh. And Chrissy. I think we had to move the date for your thing, but I am, wait, can you check your email, love? What is that?
Is that from Stephanie?
It seems urgent. What?
Do you want me to go check?
No, I don't know. She could just come in here if she needs to. I will let you. I don't know what the hell that is. Hold on just a minute. Let me see what's going down. You can keep talking about the class, and I will go see what the hell's going on.
I will do that. So the soul-to-soul communication is March 29th and 30th, and it's actually the beginning kind of kickoff weekend for a series of classes that we're going to do. So the kickoff, the soul-to-soul communication, is actually 2 days and pretty involved. But after that, we're going to do a series of classes on Sundays and Wednesdays. And so you keep working on this skill. I believe that everyone is psychic. I believe that everyone has this ability. So being on a development path really is just about understanding that this is going on around you, understanding that you're using this already every day. Once you have that understanding, once you have that awareness, then you can learn how to turn it on and turn it off so that you're not a crazy person, doing your own Long Island medium shtick, because people aren't really that open to it.
I'm from Long Island.
So you get it.
I'm technically a Long Island medium.
Long Island medium.
But
Anyway, but that's what we're working on. Let's see if we get questions here.
Oh, that comment was from Chrissy, or was for Chrissy, whatever it was. So, all right, wait, Tiana, what does she says? What is the best advice you guys can collectively give in preparation? I think that just be open-minded. Like, it's just be open to the experience, and know that the beauty of it is that you don't always know what to expect, but if you trust the process and you trust the journey, that kind of comes with this, it will always take you exactly where you need to go. So the advice is more just be open to whatever happens, and just kind of like open your heart up to that. But also, like, I don't know, I did a class when I started doing this with a teacher, and it was right after Mike died, and I had a lot of work to do on myself. So I used a class very similar-ish, not quite the same, but similar-ish to this to kind of help get my own self back. And in the meantime, I was also doing readings. And so I took those classes and I worked on my own shit. And then I went and took classes with Tony Stockwell and John Holland and all of them. And they had a different way of doing mediumship. So even though I'd already been doing it 10 years at that point, I was like, I looked up to them. I wanted to kind of, like what you had said earlier, I looked up to them. I wanted to be like that. But then something else happened. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not me either. I'm not like a name, rank, and serial number kind of girl. Like, I can't even remember most people's names 5 minutes after I meet them, but I can remember their personality, their sense of humor, the way they are. So I started to realize, like, I want to do this. So I stopped teaching, like, basically for a while. And now it's been probably 7 years since I've done a class like this, but I felt like now was the time to kind of do that. And also people that have taken this class from me before, like, I used to, like, we talk about like contracts and life lessons and all that shit. And I just have changed my perspective because I realize the universe is not that organized. So it's not so much about it's got to be this, this, and this, because I don't think only dead people sometimes will come with a checklist.
Right.
But for the most part, spirit, so it's really about like being open to the healing that can happen in a class like this as well. So, and it's, it's good juju, and you learn all kinds of shit, like how to trust your intuition. This is the longer class, not the soul to soul one. That class is just to get us all on the same page as we progress. But, within the class, there's lots of cool shit that you'll learn, like how to bless your own house, how to read people, how to talk to dead people, how to understand your life journey, how to do energy work. Stuff like that is all included in the longer class. That way, well, and the other thing too is like they can reach out to us. So you have us with our 50 plus years experience to access during your experience, like if you're struggling or if there's something you have a question about. And then also, of course, there's Stephanie, and there's lots of opportunities to practice and practice too. Like my open houses, I usually have students come and do readings at my open houses. So practice. Yeah. And that's the thing. There'll be lots of practicing. So it's kind of like you have homework and then you have opportunities to practice, and then you'll be able to connect with the other people in the class as well. And basically kind of like create your own tribe, I guess. Find your own tribe. So how often is the longer class? So right now we're just doing it this year. So I don't know if I'll do it in the future. We're just going to kind of see how this works. I'm assuming we probably will.
Right.
But for the time being, it looks like this is the one we're doing. And you guys can pay as you go. There's payment plans, payment arrangement, all that kind of stuff if you need to do that. But this gives you kind of like access to us, experiences where and there'll be like a reading list, and there'll be stuff to work on and connecting with each other. So it's not just like a simple like just show up and learn kind of thing. It's more like, let's go on a journey together and see where we get at the end. So
I want to talk a little bit about the healing part of this.
Mhm.
So
I'm just reading the comments.
being in, when you get to a place on the path where you are connected and you know for a reason, everybody has a different story about this, where you know for sure that there's something else. There's something going on outside my body.
Yeah.
Right? When you have that for the first time, number one, you can't go back.
Yeah.
Can't.
There's no turning around.
The word I like to use is ruined. You're ruined because now you know you can't put your head in the sand anymore because you know there's something going on outside our bodies or something. So in my life, having that knowledge has been healing for me, because when life throws you a curveball, or worse, shits backwards on you, right? You can lean into something so you don't feel like you're alone.
Yeah.
Right? So many people in this world feel like they're alone and they're disconnected.
Yeah.
They're alone and disconnected because they've turned off all the buttons. They've turned down all the dials. They're disconnected. Nobody's shunning you. We're not some big Quaker community where people are shunning you on purpose. The disconnection and the loneliness, we're turning out spirit. And when we turn down spirit, we don't hear people on the other side.
Yeah.
But we also can't connect with each other.
Yeah.
Right? When I'm shut down, you are just you're an avatar.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking at me. I don't really feel you, the whole bit. When you're on, even though I laugh about turning it on and turning it off, when I'm moving about in the world with my everyday business, I'm connecting with people. Mm-hmm. And that brings me some kind of healing, some pleasure in doing this work that is. And when I meet people that are like, I'm not feeling anything, I'm like, well, then let's work on getting you to feel something.
Yeah.
Because once that door, my experience with spirit, a lot of people have nailed the door closed, put a 2x4, but nailed the 2x4. Once that door cracks open a little bit, usually
there's a lot of activity.
Spirit kicks the door open. It's like, I'm here. So it's an exciting path to be on, and I'd like to see folks adopt that. It's crazy. And Tiana in an earlier comment said, I might cry a lot. I want you to cry a lot. I want you to cry a lot if you're moving stuff out of your system, right? If this is, then let it go.
And also, when you cry, it releases your cortisol. It's one of the ways that your body releases the stress chemical is through tears. So cry away, my dear. And Kyle, just FYI, because I see that, it is, she said, if we fly in from out of state for the first class, can we do the rest from online? Yes, you do the whole thing online, or you can fly in from out of town. The first class and the last class are really the ones that are the ones with the heaviest involvement. Actually, no, because they're all have heavy involvement. What the hell am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying. But what I am saying.
The rest are just frivolous. Don't take them if you want.
Yeah,
don't take them if you want.
Exactly. Just forget all the stuff in the middle. Just the beginning and the end.
You're not selling this well.
I know, right? But Kyle, you're welcome to do that. I've taught this as a hybrid before in 2017. And we had a couple of people on the computer. One of the girls moved out of state when we were doing it, and but she flew in for a couple of things. And however you need to do it is absolutely fine. I wanted to make this so that we can be connected, even if we're in different parts of the state or the world or whatever, because it's like, I mean, you can come to my office and do a reading and stuff, but it's like when you get to meet other people who are like on the same path as you, and you get to kind of like create that and move forward with that, it's actually really wonderful. And two of my favorite people that I met at the very first class when I did this, one was Dina and one was my friend Angela. And I'm still friends with her. And we started in that class, and then our kids were all the same age. Like her daughter's 1 month older than Mike, and all my kids are still friends with her. But we met down in Parker, and then one day we're like, I just called her up and I'm like, where do you live? And I lived up in Thornton, and she lived a mile away from me. And we met down there. So it was kind of meant to be. So her and her kids are like part of my family. Okay. Once the door opens, there's no turning back. No, there isn't.
No, I'm telling you.
The class is it's not going to be like a huge class. Okay. So it's going to be a tribe. So I can't tell you how many, but I can tell you it's definitely 20-ish or less.
Yep.
So whatever's going on there, because we still need to have the ability to work with you and to be able to connect outside. Like if you're going through something, we have to have the ability to like kind of be a bit available for you. But the other thing is it kind of gives like a lot more kind of specialized attention than just a big class with like 30 people and you're just trying to manage that. I've already done that. I've already lived that life. I've lived the other life of like having a group like this, a tribe, and I definitely like the tribe stuff better. So hello, Felicia, and let me see, did I miss anybody? No. Oh, hi, Barb, and Chrissy. So if you guys are interested, Stephanie is watching this right now, and we'll probably stay on for, what are we doing here? Like about another 15, 20 minutes. But if you guys are interested in the application for the class, we're going to hand it out at the Soul to Soul class. But if you want it earlier to kind of like figure out how much it costs and what the dates are and if they're going to work for you, then all you have to do is reach out to my email. And then if you know anyone who's interested, this video will still be on my Facebook and on my YouTube, and I'm assuming you'll just share the link.
Yep.
For you guys. But for you guys, any, if you know anyone, because sometimes it's nice to do the journey with a friend, but sometimes it's also not. So it's really up to you, and it depends how close you are to that friend. That's all, Stephanie. Oh yeah, email readings by Kim. Wait. So then first class is the 29th and 30th, right? Are there other dates on the website? So the other dates are in the application, and Stephanie can send that to you. So you can do the Soul to Soul class as like a standalone class, or you can do it as this journey that we're doing. And I just would highly recommend that because there's so much more to connecting with kind of the universe or spirit or whatever than just the 2 days. But in that 2 days, we'll all kind of get on the same page.
Yep.
So that way we can kind of like start off. Because even one of the things that I do is a lot of times, like when I do the PowerPoints and stuff, there's a spiritual dictionary so that we can all be on the same page.
Use the same words in
exactly,
the same way. Yep.
As you talked about earlier with language, and we have different little barriers to language, even in readings and stuff, because like, you might be trying to explain someone to someone and they explain something to someone and they don't know what it is. And then you have to dial it back and re-explain it in almost like a different language that means the same thing. And that kind of opens people up and they're like, oh, I didn't think about it that way. So if you guys are interested, just message Steph. She'll get that to you. And again, there's payment plans available. And then there'll also be kind of like one of the things that I do, and Charles has one too. So he has a psychic development group that meets, is it still once a month?
Yeah, the development group.
The development group,
yeah, once a month.
So, and then I'll have a development group as well. That will be once a month. And they cost a little bit, but you can join in there and do it there. But I think also the opportunity to practice with the rest of your tribe. Yep. Because you're not just like, you can show up to those other events, but when you get to know people and they become part of your experience of opening up, I think you just stay connected. Like I still have people like from when I took this class, like that like 20 years ago that are still like, oh, I remember you. And they come to me for readings now, which I think is just so crazy that we all kind of started in the same kind of thing.
Right.
So. All right, let's see. Chrissy, awesome. I'm hoping I can do both. What do you need to bring? Oh, for that day, bring a notebook. Probably like we'll do some meditation. I'll probably do meditation because I got my bowl.
Good.
Her name is Stella. She's
Stella.
A badass bitch. Yeah. And so the little ding, when we do the women's retreat, I use that like the kindergarten teacher. And I'm like, ding, ding, ding. And then everybody, but we'll probably do like some meditations and stuff like that. So I would just say bring a yoga mat, dress comfortable, and a notebook and a pen. Everything else we'll have.
Bring an open mind. Bring
Yeah,
your,
an open mind.
bring your open mind. I want to throw this out. Kim and I didn't talk about this ahead of time. This has been my experience with doing events. And if you hear this as a sales pitch, then you're not hearing what I'm trying to get at. Once you enroll, this class begins. So
yeah.
It really starts on the 29th,
Mm-hmm.
right? But once you get signed up, once you make it official, you mark it out in your calendar, you tell your kid, shit starts to happen. So
as Tiana knows,
be in that place, right? Be in that place that is like, I'm going to do this. You commit to it. This is in our culture in general. We want to do stuff. I really want to take Kim's class. I really want to take it. I want to meet Charles. I want to take Charles's classes. I want to do these things. I want to go to Europe. I want to go to Antarctica. I want to meet the right man, meet the right woman. But it never happens because we're not ever taking any steps. And a lot of I think Soul to Soul is it's very active. This is a very active process for me. This is not back to the radio tower. I'm not just walking around picking up stuff. And so we're going to share a lot of that. You're going to have unprecedented access to Kim and I to be able to do that and ask questions. And we'll say this day, there are no such thing as dumb questions. And my experience is that if you ask the dumb question in the room, 3 other people have a sigh of relief because they didn't want to ask the dumb question. Ask the dumb question.
Yes, exactly. And it's probably not dumb.
It is not. It's exactly right.
Yeah, it's probably just complex, and you might still have stuff worried about people's opinions. So we'll work with that as well. If you don't have a yoga mat, you don't have to buy one. I got plenty of extras. So, but the notebook and pen is probably helpful. Oh, but both days bring your lunch. So I have a refrigerator in my office and I have a microwave, and there's a freezer. So that's the other thing. Definitely bring your lunch. There are some places nearby here that was that pizza pasta place. Mm-hmm. The bagel place is open till 2, even though the lady might yell at you. But that's okay. The bagels are good. She's like the soup Nazi.
She is just like the soup Nazi.
So yeah, she's very assertive in the way she treats people. So, but I don't know. Maybe the kids said somebody new was in there. So maybe.
Part of building the community for us over the weekend is us sharing lunch together. So we're going to have class together. Yeah. We're going to eat together. This is really about bonding. Again, if you feel lonely or you feel separated in life, you need to put yourself in places where you can talk to people who are going to have similar experiences to you, even though you think no one in the world's had this experience. They might not have had your experience exactly, but it begins to bring all the empathy stuff in your ability to connect with other people, just to have a good conversation.
Yep.
Then out of the conversation, I know this from just watching Kim, your readings are more conversational. My readings are more conversational. I think people are used to the pop culture thing where I'm supposed to float up 6 inches off my chair and my eyes are supposed to turn red and I don't let you talk because I'm just going to talk for an hour.
Yeah.
It's not what my readings look like.
In the beginning, mine looked like that, and I'm just like, don't tell me anything.
You levitated?
But after, no, not levitating. I didn't
red
say
eyes?
it looked like that. No red eyes or levitating.
Shoot. I love this. I want to hear this story.
Let me play with kinetic sand or Play-Doh while I'm doing your reading. So, all right, Tiana, guys, I'm doing the work at home, and it's crazy and need that guidance. So I'm so excited. Well, we're happy that you are excited, Miss Lady. And I've met you, and Charles has met you. And I know that things just kind of started opening up for you recently. But it really is true. Like, once you sign up for something, it doesn't even have to be this. It's anything. Right. Like, once you put pin it down and say, this is what I'm doing, the universe kind of caters to that. So, and that's like really... So you get started a little bit earlier, but that's okay because it's getting you ready. And I mean, earlier, it's next weekend, right? So not this weekend, next weekend. So yeah.
And this is part of the healing process, because oftentimes when we feel lonely and separated because we've turned all this off, when shit starts moving in your life in preparation for this class, it's humbling. There's some other force. I can't tell you how often things just work out. There's someone rooting on the sideline, And the only thing that makes me different than other people is that I listen to the rooting.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
They're not big. They're not thunderbolts. They're not some James Earl Jones voice of God. It's just some little thing in my tummy that says, do this, call this person, go to this place, right? Including meeting you.
I know. That
right?
was our,
Because she was really frosty with me because she associated me with someone, frankly, the devil. It's just a long story. But I was associated with the devil, the serious Beelzebub, the whole fucking thing. And when I introduced myself, I just didn't come off that way. And I had mentioned at I think an open house you did last year, I realized how, though just saying hi to you had all this stuff unfold behind it, including our friendship.
Yeah.
Just saying hi. That's it.
Yeah.
I didn't want anything from you. You're kind of frosty with me, so I was like, you know.
It wasn't really his fault. He really was kind of around someone that I just had icky vibes about. And I'm just like, nope. But then, not even knowing any of that, he just walked in an open house, or that was a class, one of those Tuesday night insight classes. He just walked in and I'm like, I can talk to him now.
Yes.
I didn't even know anything about it, but it's like good vibes. And I'm a little picky about who I work with. So yeah.
I am too. And I want to share something. I think one of the reasons that you and I are going to really excel at this is because we just have this sounds so cheesy, just this love of sharing all of our experience with people. And you're not trying to get a leg up on me. You're not trying to be right. And you've known me long enough. You and I talked about this earlier. We have different takes on certain things. So you coming into the class are going to get to hear two people that do the same work and have different takes on the same subjects so that you can kind of form your own thing again, right? Your own, you know, how does this work for you? That's what you have to figure out. Because I swear, everyone is psychic. If you think you don't have a psychic bone in your body,
you do.
You do. You're just not paying attention to it.
Yeah. And that's one thing people always say is like, is there anyone who ever takes the class and doesn't? I'm like, no, everybody has it. It's just about accessing it and figuring out how to access your language with spirit. So nobody's ever like, oh my God, I had this person and they were just the worst ever and they could never take a class like this. No, every single class, whether it was like 30 people or 5 people, everyone's had experiences in those classes because they're open-minded and ready to do that. Hold on a sec here. Hi to everybody saying hi. Just when needed. Hello. So hi to all you guys that signed on. It looks like Kathy, Summer, and Barb, or I said hi to Barb earlier. I don't remember.
Barb gets 2 highs.
Barb gets double the highs because there were 2 Barbs, I think. You guys, if you have, hold this again, I will be out of town for the first weekend. That's okay. If you're out of town, but this is the other thing too. If you guys are out of town for the first weekend, you don't have to come. You can do it online. So all of the classes are hybrid. I didn't want to exclude people who couldn't be there. So that way, if you do want to take the class or whatever, you can do it online from wherever you are. I'm sure you might be busy, Edie, but I just thought I'd let you guys know that, because if you can't physically come, even though it's kind of cool to get to come and be in the energy of that, we're going to work with both of that energy. So, or both, people that are like in person and people that are there, and you're still going to have experiences and you're still going to do kind of like connections with people, and you can still do your meditation and you can still do all of that from the comfort of your own home if that suits you better. So that's why we did it as like a kind of like a hybrid. So that way, even on days where you're not feeling so good or you don't have a babysitter, that gives you the opportunity to do it from home and still participate, even if you can't physically like come to the class. And there's actually a couple of nights that are like a Wednesday night where I have them set up as just at home kind of thing. So some of the classes are like that too. But that way it's just accommodating, because, it's not the way it used to be before 2020.
COVID changed the world.
It did. It changed the world. But it also made stuff like this more accessible. without, you know, when I took a bunch of classes,
Yeah.
I flew out of state.
Yes.
I like went to go have to do it in person, and do it all that way. And now you can do it like this. So if this way works for you, or even like someone else had said this, I think the name was Kyle, or Kylie or Kyle, that if you are here like for a couple of them, but you want to do the rest online, that's absolutely fine as well. So you're allowed to kind of come and go as you please in that way. So even if you want to take the first class and you're out of town, you're welcome to do that. One thing though, unless you're enrolled in the class, because we can record the other ones, like if you miss like an hour, but I would highly suggest that you be available to take the class. But because if you get like a recording of it, you're kind of missing out a little bit. But if you're live online with us, even if you're just online, I think that might be the best way to do it. But we can always, and there's also like materials for each class. There's a book list. There's also other stuff for you to do. So just know, like, if you can't come, but you can get online, even if you're not feeling that great or whatever, try to be online as much as possible if you can't come down. But you don't have to come down if you got cooties too. So there's that. Wait. I'm just setting you free.
Cootie
so
free
you have
zone.
to come. It's a cootie free zone.
Cootie free zone.
So there's measles in the world now. That is just, we live in a crazy time.
We live in a crazy time.
So, you know. So anyway, you guys, we're about to kind of wrap up here. So I just wanted to say, like, thank you for listening. If you know anyone interested, we can, if you know anyone interested, or if you're interested, email Stephanie. It's right there, readingsbykim@yahoo.com. She'll send you out the application. It has the dates and the price and all that other shit. But in order to start the class, you just got to sign up for the soul. I know, aren't I professional? You just got to sign up for the soul one. And then we'll just talk about kind of what's to come if you decide to do that. And that's totally up to you. So, but yeah, I like this. I'm excited.
I'm very excited.
And I'm excited to like be connected to you guys and do this class, because it's been many years since I've been able to like do one like this. I really think it was 2017. So that's been 8 years.
Wow.
That I was like, I'm going to learn new stuff. I'm going to teach only my shit. And then here we are now. Me and Charles shit together. You are very welcome for the info. I know Angela. Wait, do I? Oh no, it's a different Angela, but that's okay. Close enough. Hello, Angela.
But we know you and love you anyway. We just feel like we know you.
I just am blind as hell, so I thought your last name was somebody else. But anyway, but I appreciate you guys signing on and listening to us blab away. And the link to this will be on Facebook and YouTube. And then also, Charles, what's your page so that they can find you?
Are you Facebook or in general?
Both.
Website is www.denver-psychic.com.
Okay.
Because I'm Denver Psychic.
Denver Psychic, yes.
Because I've been here forever. I came with the town. They just built the town around.
Yeah, they built the town around you.
And then I am Denver Psychic. I can't do this. It's on Facebook. I'm Charles Cox, Denver Psychic Medium.
Oh, yeah. So that's how you find him. And obviously, you know, you can find me here on the Medium and Psychic page. I'm on TikTok now, and I've become disgustingly addicted. But if you want to watch me on TikTok, because that's where all my little political shit is, it's Readings by Kim LLC. And then you have this one. Steph's got a link tree somewhere. They have this thing called the link tree.
I know that.
I'm so happy about that, because it just lists all the shit and I don't have to think of it all. Do you have a link tree on your Facebook?
No.
Well, I'm going to make Stephanie do one. And then she's going to make you a link tree.
For the meetup group and my webpage. Yeah. That's actually a great idea.
That is. And then it's all just in this thing called a link tree. And then you can just click whatever you want to access and find it that way.
You get my wish list on Amazon. You go to my OnlyFans page.
Your OnlyFans page. that page.
Crack myself up.
That-
That's funny.
That was good though. That was quite comedic. So I gotta say, I don't have an OnlyFans page, so
I don't either.
that was, yeah, I don't know about that, Charles.
At a certain age where
questioning
if I
it.
need to make money, I just start acting like I'm going to take my belt off, and people start throwing 20 at me. Like, no, please.
That's your OnlyFans
That's my
account.
OnlyFans
You're
account.
like, here I am.
Pay me
yeah.
to keep my clothes on.
Pay me to keep my. Yeah, I know. I'm right there with you.
So I'm a
Right.
hottie at 108. I'm,
The 108. Yes, that is true because that is. Yeah. Well, I'm no spring chicken either. So anyway, you guys, we love you. Thank you for
Love
signing
you.
on.
Hope to see you on the
And,
29th and 30th.
Yeah, hope we see you on that weekend. But have a good one. Bye bye.
Night.